part you have to do before we get there, which is all done on paper. Hey guys, it's Thursday. That means we're going to be going over some more stuff. It's the more tedious part of it, I think, because to me, the funnest part is designing levels, like actually getting in there and creating it and seeing it come to life. But this is the part you have to do before we get there, which is all done on paper and then, then put on the computer. I really just wanted to kind of get all the papery plot world making stuff out of the way so that next week we can actually start creating something tangible in RPG Playground.
Okay, so I broke it down into 4 main categories to make this easier, and I'll just call them chapters. Storyline, world building, map creation, and main quest. Chapter 1, the storyline. Stories have a beginning, middle, turning point, and end. And games are no different. So here are 4 questions I use to help build a storyline for my game. What is the game about? Short version. What is the game about? Long version. What is my game style? And who is my player character? I'll answer them one at a time. What is the game about? Short version. Explore the island you crashed into and collect materials to fix the ship. And don't forget to find the missing princess before sailing home. What is the game about? Long version. Most of your crew has been lost at sea. The princess is missing and the captain is severely injured. Footsteps suggest someone approached the shipwreck and left, possibly with the princess. The ship is in dire need of repairs. It can't go anywhere. Explore the island in order to collect materials to fix your ship, find the princess, and sail home. Can you survive long enough to accomplish these goals? What is my game style? I want this to be a casual adventure. There will be some action, but the main focus is adventure. The overall tone is going to be serious with comedic undertones. It's funny to me when a character is serious and they say serious things about unserious things. I don't know. My plan is to create 2 main quests and at least 10 side quests. Who is my player character? My PC is Thorn. He's a squire in the Holy Knights of Azriel Order, so basically a knight in training. He is the only son of the well-respected knight arbiter, Sir Abden. The princess was being escorted back to her homeland by Squire Thorn as her personal guard at his father's request. Chapter 2, World Building. Worlds are a combination of history, geography, society, and organizations. I don't want to overcomplicate it because I want my world to be understandable to the player. I also don't want it to be too simple. It needs personality. Let's start with history. History would include notable events such as world origin, religion, past rulers, war, and more. I'm only going as deep as I need to, and only one of these things is necessary for my game. My PC comes from the land of Azriel, which is a primarily Christian nation, hence the Holy Knights. Most of the island people have no religion. The Fae are a group of fairies that live on the island. They have their own dark, mysterious, and troubling religious order. Please remember that your history should be relevant to your game. I only filled out what I needed. You might need more or less, it just depends on what your game type is and focus. Geography is my personal favorite. It's our map, but written out on paper. So this is what I want to include for my game. Kingdoms and nations, cities and villages, nature and landmarks. And the landmarks would include water, mountains, mines, woodlands, and other landmarks. Here's the one I made for my game. My goal is to make this a small to medium-ish size game, so I don't want too many locations on this island, but I do want enough to make it worth exploring. Here are the 6 components I use to form my society. NPC temperament and morals, social status, laws, magic systems, currency, and organizations. NPC's temperament and morals dictate how they interact with your PC. I like to assign them a part of the moral alignment chart. It helps keep things cohesive. My PC is a lawfully good knight. Everything he does is for the good of God and country by the letter of the law. The people in Rochdale are kinder and more receptive to newcomers. They're stuck in a feud with the town Ailes, where people are good but also petty and more suspicious of newcomers. The Fae are the enemy, and their queen Kala falls under the chaotic evil category. The Fae constantly plot mischief and hate outsiders. The laws are basic. Don't steal or kill people. You get it. As far as magic systems go, the only magic users are the Fae, and they wield Dark River magic. The source of their magic is a well-protected giant magic tree in a river, only accessible by a fairy portal. The currency is gold. Thieves guilds, hunter guilds, assassins, an order of knights, all of these groups would fall under organization. The only group I need the order for are the Holy Knights of Azriel. From least to greatest would be Squire, Knight, Knight Commander, Knight Champion, Knight Arbiter, and the Grandmaster. Chapter 3. Map creation. Now I get to take all that stuff I wrote down in the geography section and form it into an actual map. Y'all don't judge my drawing ability, okay? It's clearly not one of my stronger skills. This is my original map of Nottingden. I started with the two towns being separated by a bridge. Since the towns are feuding, it just added a little pizzazz to the situation. Actually, let's go ahead and jump on Inkarnate, because I'm tired of looking at that map. On Inkarnate.com, create a free account. I already have one, so I just signed in. Scroll to the bottom of the Choose Style options. I usually use the Fantasy World Free Edition. For resolution, leave it on medium 2K, and then you can start creating. I'm just making a random shape to show some of the features I use to make a map. Rivers create natural boundaries to build beside, you know. Different colors mean different regions, so I like to play with that. Sea monster just because it looks cool. You can click and drag with the stamps just to create a bunch of trees or mountains. It doesn't have to be one at a time. The text tool comes in really handy. There's a lot of different fonts to choose from and other editable properties like colors and drop shadows. Now for names, I like to use fantasynamegenerator.com when I'm stuck. Go to the cities and town section and choose your style. I chose fantasy for this one. And there you have it, the beginnings of a pretty cool map. So after you get it the way you want it, use this grid tool. Choose the square shape and knock it down to like 5 or 6 or even 4 columns. That way you can block out your map into specific sections. Now, this part specifically comes in handy when trying to build a cohesive and believable world in RPG Playground. Each square will represent a chunk of our world, and we can build it one at a time. This is what my actual map looks like. Recreating this in RPG Playground as a playable space won't be exact, but I think it's worth it. Plus, who doesn't want a cool game map? Free. It takes a little playing with to get used to, but it's not too bad, just keep it simple. Final chapter, main quest. For this I use Miro, a free mind map resource. I just really needed to see all the steps flowing one into the next to help me get an idea of how the game is going to play out. I started with Game Start, which by the end of this I ended up changing to Main Quest 1. I realized halfway through that I was working backwards. You start with the end in mind. What does my PC need to do in order to get his resolution? So, for example, Thorin needs to fix the ship. How does he fix the ship? He needs planks of wood, nails, and a new sail. How does he get those? Well, the wood he can get by speaking to a man named Eloch in Rochdale. You have to help him find his grandson, and when you do, you're rewarded with an axe. Then he can use the axe to chop down special trees, bring the wood to Eloch, and then he'll form it into planks. But it's so much easier to work with when it's written out like this in a flowchart. I'm sure I don't have every little thing planned out, but I think this is a really, really good start. I know exactly what I'm going to create when we start designing the levels in RPG Playground.
I'm not saying this is the only right way to do it. I'm literally just showing you how I'm creating a game. And I really hope that it's something that you find inspiring and that you want to also do this too. So if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will talk to you guys next week with our Thursday update.